So this one is probably our most challenging solo of all. It's got voodoo elements all over the place, and that I'm slipping and sliding all over the fretboard. It sounds very greasy and pedal steel-ish. And I'm also using some strange ideas like some chicken picking and some index finger bends. Let's have a look at it. So for this one, I'm playing an E, and my first move is hammer on from B to C sharp, and then E on the high string. Then I'm going to do this. And look how contorted my hand is. What I'm going to do is on the second string, I'm going to bend D up to E, supporting it with my first finger up here, so I get the double stops. And then I play the G sharp on the high string. And I'm using there a technique, a voodoo technique, that I call blocking. So instead of letting the notes ringing together, I'm hitting each one and blocking it, so I go down and mute it before I hit the high one. So I get that staccato percussive sound. Then I move up to the fifth position, and I'm going to, on the second string, bend the F sharp up to G sharp, supporting the bend with my second finger. Sometimes even my first. Block it, and then play with my middle finger on the right hand, the B on top. And then reverse it. Play the B again, and now you're going to release the bend. What I mean by release the bend is when you first bend the note, you're going to, I call ice it up there. You're going to keep it up in that bent position. Play the high note, play the high note again, and then release the bend. So I get 3, 4. Now I'm going to put the flat 7 or the D on top and do this lick, 3, 4. So I'm going to bend the A up to B on the second string, supporting the bend with my second and first fingers. Hold the bend in place, then I play the D on top, and then reverse it by playing the D again. Then I release the bend on the second string, and then play a G natural. Now, pay particular attention as you're watching this to my right hand, because I'm doing a couple of different things. I'm starting the bend with my pick. I play the high note with my middle finger twice, and then I use my middle finger again to play the second string and release the bend. And the first note is then again played by my second finger, ring finger. I'm sorry, my middle finger of my right hand. So in effect, I'm only using my pick for the first note. Okay, now comes Voodoo Central. This is a tricky one. I'm playing in the 7th position on strings 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to play a G sharp on string 2. Then on string 3, I'm going to pre-bend a D up to E with my index finger. Now this one, if you're using strings that are heavier than 10s, have fun. So I'm hitting the E note bent from D, and I'm releasing it. So it gives that slithery, voodoo-y sort of sound, which isn't that common. I mean, most guys don't do that because it's so hard. Then I go down to the B at the 9th fret of the 4th string. Then I release it by going back to the 3rd string, bending back up to E, and then ending on the G sharp. So I essentially play it and then reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then I get to the 4 chord, or A. I play the A note twice to set up my time feel. And I love that one because it's unusual. I'm playing on the high string, I'm playing C sharp. I'm pre-bending a G on the 2nd string up to A. I hit it and I lower the bend. It gives that, you know what I mean? You know what that is. Then I play the E on the third string. I do that twice. And I'm using my middle finger on the top two notes. And I like my middle finger because it's meaty and it gives a more percussive, edgy sound. Or as opposed to, sounds lamer or thinner with my pick. And I use the pick on the third string. Then I move back down again to the fifth position. And I get some tension in there. I start by bending the F sharp up to G sharp. Then I play a B on top. Now, I keep the note bent up, and then I lower the B on the first string down to A. And then I release the bend. And then back up. And I do that twice. Sounds cool, huh? A 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I get to the most classic country lick of all. So this one, I'm going to play on strings 3 and 1. And I'm going to mute the third string. The whole idea is to imitate a barnyard animal or a chicken. So I'm going to play chromatically from C sharp to D sharp, muting them with the heel of my right hand. And then on the high string, I'm going to use my middle finger of my right hand and play a B. So it's basically a B triad, or a sixth interval in the key of B. Then I go down a whole step from B to C sharp, and A on top. And by the way, I'm using fingers 1, 2, 3 for the triplet, then moving my second finger down to the high string. Then continuing down diatonically, I'm playing, which is going to be A to B on the third string, and then using my fourth finger, I play a G sharp on the first string. Then, moving down diatonically once more, I'm going to go down to the open G to A, and then the F sharp on top. 3, 4, 1. Then I have to move down to the next set of strings to complete it, which is going to be F sharp to G sharp on the fourth string, muted. And with my middle finger, play the E on the second string. And then I end it with, which is a blues lick, double stops in the open position here, B and D, playing with my right hand fingers. Then A and C sharp, and then B and G. Hammer on the G sharp on the third string. And then finally end on an E note, simply enough. You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to play this again slowly in context so you hear what the whole thing sounds like. I think it sounds, if I were to hear this, I would think, oh my God, that's a lot of information to assimilate. So here's what the whole thing sounds like slowly, in context. A 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a tricky one. There's a lot of voodoo in there, so have at it.